Hey, kids. You're listening to the internet's wettest podcast about video games, consoles, and pancakes. The SML Podcast.
Prepare for the SML Podcast.
Hello?
My hope was not misplaced.
For what hope?
That you would show up.
I said you were going to show up on time.
Which I did.
You did. I'm so proud.
Thank you. That's what Joe has.
What, proud?
Clap.
Oh.
No, the clap.
Oh.
You had to ruin a moment.
What do you mean I had to ruin a moment? The moment was already ruined the moment I came into on the podcast.
True, and the moment you fumbled that joke. What's up, everybody? This is the SML Podcast. I am your host, Joe. Joining as usual, we've got Jacob and Bri. How are you two doing?
I'm cold.
Are you?
I mean, Henry Kissinger's dead, so I'm pretty. I'm cool with that.
Oh, wait. Where is it? There we go.
Yay.
Oh.
That might have been the only time that sound got played in celebration of his death.
Mm.
I doubt it. So how's things going? How was your past week?
Oh, we had Thanksgiving. That was a thing.
Was that the past week?
That was.
Oh, well, I was on Tuesday's episode, so I'm kind of like, not
Baked.
with it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty what?
Baked?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Shocking.
Yeah. I'm waiting till after this episode, because I figured it was going to be short enough since Aki's not here, so.
Yeah. I mean, we do have a lot of news to get to, but I'm legitimately interested in how your weeks were. Mine, something good finally happened for once.
Yay.
Did you see your penis?
No, my caffeine addiction paid off because the whole Mountain Dew Doritos Rockstar promotion going on, where you could like buy Doritos and shit and redeem points online. I got Starfield for free.
Oh, cool. Nice.
And a $10 Xbox card.
Fucking yeah!
Sweet.
Is that all you've
Fucking
won
yeah,
so
indeed.
far?
Tony, thank you so much for the 69th month sub. Ooh.
You didn't announce my 10-month sub.
I did last episode.
Oh, I wasn't around.
And Burger Thing subbed. I thanked you as well.
Oh.
But Tony subbed for the 69th month.
Just wait till he does it for the 420th.
I'm still doing this show.
Of course we're going to be doing this show. We're going to be in fucking nursing homes reviewing the latest malware games that we downloaded to our phones that our grandkids have to tell us Graham, stop downloading this shit on your phone.
Oh, Jacob, how are you doing today? Poop myself again.
Still playing Disney Dreamlight Valley.
Yep. It'll be available on your phone by then, for sure.
Oh, it'll be available December 5th. Remember? It's coming to Apple Arcade.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
What else is going on with the game? Let's might as well just dive into news. What news is going on with Disney Dreamlight? I know you want to talk about stuff.
Well,
tell us what's going on.
Next week is the launch of A Rift in Time, the expansion. So I'm taking a full 2 days off from work so I can play it. Because, that's where my life is at.
I mean, whatever makes you happy, man.
I know, but at the same time, it feels kind of weird that, here I am like a huge 38-year-old dude, who's just yeah.
What'd you take off for? Call of Duty, Madden, Halo, Diablo?
Dreamlight Valley. Most hardcore game out there.
Disney Dreamlight motherfuckers.
But yeah, like I'm excited to see what happens in the expansion. Although Joe shared with me that officially we are not getting the cozy edition crap, and I'm just like I want somebody to buy. Well, it's like I want somebody to buy the cozy edition to see if it comes with a code or if it's just on the disc. And so, like, you know, if the DLC is just on the disc, I'm just like gonna pop over to somebody's house and like load it up. But yeah,
I don't know how it works.
yeah, they haven't said. So, but yeah. And then Jack Skellington is also coming to the game that day.
That's cool.
That's exciting.
Yeah, they've been kind of like low key hyping it with the stuff you can buy in the store. Like this week, you could buy Sally's dress if you want to.
Why didn't they put him in like a month ago?
I'm wondering if he wasn't ready or something. Because I thought about that too. Like it should have been like a Halloween thing.
Well, I guess it's
Why
more
can't it be
Christmassy.
both? Yeah.
Could have done both.
I mean, because at the same time, it is close to Christmas. So,
Yeah.
And I heard he causes nightmares before it.
I mean, you cause nightmares too.
Oh, but that's throughout the year. Jerk.
So anyway, you know what else people are getting hyped about? The latest Game Pass editions.
Yes.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah,
What do we got coming?
We got two shadow drops last night just popped up. And it led to Xbox revealing the whole month's lineup of Game Pass. They did announce that this is the whole thing. There's not going to be another one mid-month, so don't expect another lineup until January. But last night we got Remnant and Remnant 2.
I don't know what those are.
Because you're a bad
I hear
person.
they're pretty good.
I mean,
People
apparently it
calling
did
Remnant
well enough
2
to get
one
a
of the
sequel.
games of the year. Yeah. December 1st, tomorrow we're getting more games. Spirit of the North and SteamWorld Build is a day one launch.
Cool. What's Spirit of the North?
Your little
It's
box.
the game with the fox, yeah.
Yeah.
You know how many indie games I've played with there? That's the description. You're going to have to be more specific.
You're a fox in the snow. That's still not helpful.
God.
Awaken the spirit of the North and start your journey. Set out on a beautiful and meaningful adventure across landscapes inspired by those in Iceland. Discover a land left in ruin as you're guided across mountains by the guardian of the Northern Lights, solving environmental puzzles to uncover what happened to the ancient civilization that once lived there.
You know, the worst part about it is you just read like the whole description of it, and I can still think of like at least 3 other indie games with foxes or similar animals that like are pretty damn close to that description. Let me guess, it's also played in a third person perspective too, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
Is it third or is it 2D?
I played a tiny bit of it. It's 3D, but
All right, indie
Yeah.
developers, you got to stop using foxes. We need new animals, so you should start using like anteaters. I would say geckos, but you know we've got that
We need
Gex things coming out.
pangolin game.
Oh, yes. Okay, yes. Yeah, we need one of those. Give me something else, Joe. What's another underused animal?
Koala bear.
Oh, yes.
Bear. We also don't have very many blobfish games.
There's a reason for that one.
Ooh, giraffe.
No, there is one. There's that detective one that I had to play.
Oh, I like that game.
Yeah, that was good. I liked it. Yeah. Actually, I think there was 2. Oh, man, that's weird.
Anyway, December 5th.
Have we been doing this for too long? It's like, oh, yeah, what about that giraffe game? Which one? Like, I'm now like, oh, God, have I ever been reviewing indie games for too long now? Like,
Yes. Yes, the answer is yes. No,
God help me if I ever got into RPGs. Oh, hey, you have to, like, you're this party of 4 people and you have to go, like, save the world from this evil megalomaniac who, has this power that he just found and he's going to destroy the world.
But
Oh,
you have Magitech to save you.
okay. And healing powers too?
Yes.
Oh.
Get that
well,
from the
that's-
Magicite.
Yeah.
Good. That's cleared that up, which game this is.
I really hope they bring the Pixel remasters to Xbox next year. Like, I'm
They're
getting
not.
sick of this shit. Square, come the fuck on.
Yep.
Like, is there even any update on Octopath 2?
Not that
Oh, I
I
don't
know
know.
of. Let's
It's just,
see.
oh, it's coming. When? I don't know. Anyway, December 5th, 4 more games are hitting Game Pass. Lone Drone in the Danger Zone, Rise of the Tomb Raider, While the Iron's Hot, which is a day one release, and World War Z Aftermath.
Wait, isn't World War Z Aftermath, like, that was already released, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Yeah, these are just joining Game Pass.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Cool,
not Game
cool.
Pass isn't just day one releases, Jacob.
Sometimes it is.
Sometimes, yes, like While the Iron's Hot, which is a day one release. I specified that, you wiener.
Yeah.
December 7th, Goat Sim 3.
Sim.
Yay! Forever in your heart, Bri.
I mean, I love all of the Goat Sim games, but also special because I used it for my 2 million. So, yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. December 8th, Against the Story is hitting Game Pass, which is a PC-only game. December 12th, Tin Hearts. And December 14th, Far Cry 6.
Okay. That's cool.
That is a hell of a month for Game Pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Even better, Game Pass Core is getting 2 more games added, with Chivalry 2 and Totally Reliable Delivery Service joining
Nice.
on December 6th. Good talk. All right. Leaving Game Pass on December 15th, we've got Chained Echoes. That's a bummer. It's a really good one. If you have not picked that one up and you're into retro RPGs, obviously Jacob is.
Turtle Metal for the win.
Indeed. Oh, I should play that.
Right?
Do I
So
have
good.
that still? Where is it? Fuck, is it Chained Echoes Turtle Race? I do have it. All right, I'm going to play it. This will be a couple of seconds, so just deal with the silence, you two.
Wait, so do we actually?
That is a song. That was a song from a JRPG.
Yes.
Okay. Do we
It was
still
a
have to sit
great
in silence?
No, Jacob, it's done.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's a really great scene where you have to race turtles, and you are just totally not expecting to hear that. It's
Just-
so good.
Just thrash metal about a turtle race in a retro JRPG.
Yeah, it's a good game.
Oh, good. Yeah, pick that one up before it leaves Game Pass. Opus Magnum is leaving PC Game Pass. Potion Craft Alchemist Simulator and Rubber Bandits all leaving Game Pass.
Rubber Bandits was fun. It's a pretty quick completion too.
Is it?
Yeah,
What's it like? What do you do in that?
more fun with friends, but it's like, you know, like little heists, and you have to. It's kind of got like floppy physics, and yeah, that's about all I can remember off the top of my head. But I had a fun time with it.
Floppy physics games are always weird for me. I have a hard time playing them just because of the intentionally fucky controls.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. They usually frustrate me more than entertain me. Maybe I'll try it though. Anyway, PlayStation Plus lineup for December was announced, and seems to be a really divisive announcement. Like, I thought it was a really good lineup, and then I checked the comments on the PlayStation blog, and everybody hates it
Why?
because of the lineup. It's Lego
Okay.
2K Drive,
Okay, cool.
Cool.
Sable,
I don't know
Cool.
what that is, but okay.
and Power Wash Simulator.
Awesome.
That's a nice lineup
It's a
right
good
there.
lineup. What's wrong with that lineup?
I mean,
Yeah, what
it's
is
only
wrong
3
with it?
games, but I mean,
Well, that's the usual PlayStation Plus monthly lineup is only 3 games. That's not the catalog.
okay. I mean,
update.
that's solid as hell. You like
yeah.
Xbox folks would kill for that.
Yeah, Xbox doesn't get free games anymore. It's just Game Pass now.
Ugh, God.
Yeah.
Can you
So I think it's
Can
a
you
good
imagine
lineup.
if we had a month like that with games with gold? Oh
Like,
my
everyone
god!
would shit themselves and enjoy, and then PlayStation's like, ugh, this isn't good enough. I mean, it's not good enough that I'm going to renew my membership next month, but whatever. I'm actually in the middle trying to sell my PS5.
Any bites?
Possibly 2 people, but I'm still waiting to find out for sure. I just don't use it. So, I mean, why?
So in 2024, when you try buying a PS5 again, do we need to just play you this episode, or
No, I'll remember.
or okay? So this is it. This is it, Joe. I need you to find a book, provided you own one, and I need you to swear on that book that this is the last time you've ever bought a PS5.
I can't make that promise.
Bri, I need you to be witness.
I just said I can't make that promise.
Nah, you gotta.
No, I don't.
It's official.
You want to know something that's not convincing me to buy a PS5 again?
My sales pitch of it?
The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, which was announced. It is hitting PlayStation 5 on January 19th. It will have graphical enhancements, lost levels, DualSense integration, guitar free play, and a roguelike survival mode. Which is
guitar free play?
Yeah, the guitar that you could play in the game, you can just fuck around with it. Never.
Oh, okay. I didn't play the game, so I don't know. I like for all I knew, like you could hook up like a Rock Band like controller
that
to
would
it
be
and like
amazing.
play some song.
If you could do that, I would buy it. If you could hook up a Rock Band guitar and play that in The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, I would buy The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered. The good thing is it's only a $10 upgrade for current owners. I believe it's going to be full price otherwise. I don't see the point in remastering a 3-year-old game. It's 3 years old. Make it DLC. Do what Wreckfest did and just make a patch.
You're not going to charge $60 for that kind of DLC. See, like they have to remaster it, so then you feel forced to buy it again.
I can understand, like, remaster the Jak and Daxter games. Do something with them, Naughty Dog. Fucking anything with Jak and Daxter. Please?
Yeah, but there's not Jak and Daxter show out right now.
I don't know. Anyway, a game that actually deserves a new port is Beyond Good and Evil, which has a 20th anniversary edition releasing sometime soon. As an Xbox page popped up for it, and Xbox Live achievements popped up as well. It is going to be 4K 60 frames per second, improved graphics and audio and cross save. They'll have an anniversary gallery where you can learn about the development. And then Ubisoft confirmed it would release in early 2024, although a handful of people did get to play it early with Ubisoft Plus.
That's pretty awesome that they got to play it. I wonder how it was. I mean, I know Ubisoft is like, oh, it's not done. Like, this was not like how it was supposed to be. I find that kind of weird because I mean, if you're all that far along, it seems like it actually is done and ready to release.
Yeah, yeah. Someone hit the button early. Who knows? Maybe Ubisoft will be like, fuck it, release it at the Game Awards.
That would be nice.
That'd be pretty cool. Jet Force Gemini is hitting Nintendo Switch Online in December. Another rare game joining Nintendo Switch Online. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I just remember it sucking or thinking it sucked.
You suck.
Probably, but at the same time, I don't have fond memories of it. So it's like,
that's fair. 1080 Snowboarding and Harvest Moon 64 are also slated to join in the near future. So some more N64 games joining the lineup.
Cool.
Dragon's Dogma 2 got a March 22nd release date for PS5, Series X and S, and PC. Going to be a full-on $69.99 game.
Okay.
Vertically impaired. Wait, which game? Which game for what? Like, wait, Jet Force Gemini? Is that?
Yes, I think that's what it was.
It's on Rare Replay. You could always play it that way. Vertically impaired wants a GameCube emulator on the Switch. That would be amazing.
Oh my gosh, yes.
They had GameCube games running on the Wii U.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that they don't have that.
I don't know. Maybe the size of the games is what's preventing that from happening. They were on discs.
Yeah.
Not like the, Super Nintendo had like 8 meg files, ROM files.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Speaking of Nintendo, Mario Kart 8 dropped out of the top 20 U.S. game sales for the first time in 6 years.
Everybody owns it that wants it?
Possibly. The list does not include digital sales, and Nintendo just released a console bundle that includes the game, so that will probably largely account for the drop in people buying it with the console.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some sad news. Them's Fightin' Herds is ending development. Story mode and future seasons are being scrapped.
Yeah, I heard that was causing quite a tizzy with the people who had backed it on Kickstarter.
I can imagine people would be pissed off.
Especially since that game has been in like development for like friggin' forever too.
I don't remember. I can't remember if we covered that. I want to say we did, but I don't remember who.
I thought we did, but I don't have a laptop open to check.
Yeah. Embracer laid off 50 more people, this time at Chorus developer Fish Labs.
Jeez.
Yeah. More layoffs. That's always fun. And then last bit of news I have, Lords of the Fallen has reportedly sold 900,000 units so far, with half the sales being deluxe edition.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I heard like I saw an ad for it on my Xbox. I've literally heard no hype whatsoever for it. So I mean, the fact that it's pulling that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm happy for him.
Yeah, I mean, like I like the original version when I was playing it on. I had to review the iPhone version years ago.
Yeah, but that's the news I have. Bri, any news on your end?
I didn't have so much news as like I read an article and thought it was like an interesting conversation piece. If you want me to go ahead with that,
yeah.
So the article was about a survey that was done, asking kids from age like 10 to 17 or something, what they wanted for Christmas this year, and top of the list was video games and video game related stuff. But the thing that they were actually looking for was game subscriptions. And at the bottom of the list was physical games. So I was just curious, like, you know, if anybody had any thoughts on that, especially Jacob, you have kids, like, what are they asking for? I mean, I think we've talked about in the past how we tend to be leaning more toward digital, even though we like the idea of physical media. Like, anybody have any thoughts on that?
My kids do not care as long as they get it.
Yeah.
And I mean, to be fair, we may have been spoiled a little bit by the outright brand ambassador program because we've racked up like their entire catalog digitally. So, and so the kids are just kind of like, "Oh, cool, we get to play Bluey day one. Like, great.
Sweet.
Like, yeah, they don't care that it's like that there's no special edition or that there's no physical version." And honestly, if anything, they're probably happier without a physical version because I'm always on their ass about leaving the Nintendo Switch games out because we have quite a few physical games for that. And I'm always like, guys, you can't be leaving the Switch on the floor. And why are these games here? You know, they're supposed to be put back in the case. Blah, 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 blah. Like, so.
I mean, you gotta be serious with Switch stuff. Those carts are tiny. They get lost easily. Pets could swallow them. They taste like shit if you do put them in your mouth.
Joe could swallow them if he comes over to my house.
I could.
Like, it would be the worst. And then I have to
you
explain
licked
to Ashley, have I licked one?
Yeah.
You coming over to my house? No, I haven't licked you over at my house.
No, a Switch cart.
Oh, a Switch cart? I know I don't think I've tried a Switch one, but what was it? Was it 3DS that also did this kind of thing?
No, Switch is the first one.
Oh.
That they put the bitter coat on.
Okay.
Batteries have bitter coats.
I did not know that was a thing.
Yeah, do you have a Switch game? Lick it right now.
I am not going to lick it.
Lick it. Lick the goddamn cart.
I am not going to lick it. Oh my gosh. But no, see, now I'm like remembering. So Game Boy games, the cartridges were like, you know, the smallest at the time. someone got one, like their kid got it lodged in a toilet. I remember reading like an article in some magazine about this. And like after they went through this whole thing and got it out of the plumbing and it had been sitting in water this whole time, they dried it out and the fucker still worked. But now you're telling me to lick a cartridge and I'm just thinking about it being stuck inside a toilet and I'm like, no.
Yeah, they put a bitter coating on it so that kids, if they put it in their mouth, they'll spit it out instinctively.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think I have licked one then, because I could have sworn it was like 3DS carts it had at first or something. But yeah, no, I have it. I didn't think it's that gross, but I'm also not a kid, so.
No, it's not supposed to be gross. It's supposed to be bitter.
Oh.
Yeah. It's not supposed to like taste like poopy. It's just supposed to be bitter so that you spit it out.
Well, I didn't immediately spit it out.
You're a sadist.
I mean, maybe.
I don't know. I'm on board with an all digital future. I really am. People are quick to jump to, oh well, you don't really own your games anymore. And I'm at the point where I don't care.
Yeah.
I have such a big backlog. Even if I just focused on like this year of stuff I personally bought. I can't talk. Stuff that I just personally bought, brand new even, like day one. My backlog would be enormous. And I'm never going to get to them. I'm never going to finish them. So if they take them away from me, I'll be 6 consoles ahead and they'll end the servers for it. And then I won't be able to play them. Like, it sucks that they're removing all these 360 games. It sucks that they're removing all these original Xbox games. But I'm honestly not really going to go back and play most of them.
Yeah.
Like, I have hundreds of games on my 360, and I have a list of games I want to buy from the games that are disappearing. I'm not going to play them. I'm just going to fucking buy them and sit on them.
Yeah, because I mean, like, my thing too is that, like, I was thinking about like the games that I had, like, I need to pick up, and I did the math for it, and I think it comes out to like 500 games total for like, Lord. God only knows how much. Actually, I don't think it's 500, but I think it's like, I don't think it's 500 games, but I think it's like, I think it might be like, it might cost like $500 total to pick up everything I need.
Sense.
But the thing is that I'd still have to go get another hard drive for it, at least. Yeah. Like, so it means I have to like get like an external hard drive for my Xbox 360, which in all reality only gets fired up when my kids want to hang out in our bedroom while I'm like sorting laundry or I'm taking a nap and they decide they want to hang out with dad. But yeah, like,
I mean, there are some games I do want to pick up. Like, I still want to pick up Bubble Bobble Neo. I would like to grab Choplifter HD, the Double Dragon 2 version that they have on 360, which I don't think they've released in any other form.
I've got Choplifter. That's pretty fun.
There's not a bunch, but like I want to get the two Worlds games digital, just so I don't have to like. God. This is more a me thing, but they're like on the bottom shelf. And we have cardboard up everywhere to prevent the cats from peeing on my games. I don't want to pull the cardboard out and reach down and pick up a game. I would rather just download it.
I was about to say, you're just a lazy ass.
I am. Not the
see, when it comes to the 360 stuff, if I'm going to buy any games, I'm going to make sure that they're physical at this point, just because I don't want to deal with the downloading and the potential loss of anything else from there. But like,
yeah, but there's still tons of games that aren't.
Oh, for sure. But for current consoles, I'm like, yes, all digital. Let's go.
Yeah.
So
like, I'm ready to go through my physical Xbox One games and just get rid of most of them and either convert to digital or just not worry about the games because I'm not going to play them.
Well, I'm not going to lie. I think back to like all the old original Xbox games that I played. And it's just like, okay, Advent Rising is available, play on Xbox Series X. Halo, all right, go off to the Master Chief Collection. Fable, again, go off
Anniversary.
to, pick up the Anniversary Edition, which was the superior one anyway. And then it's just like, I draw a blank at everything else. Like, what the heck else was I played DDR, but I'm too old and fat at this point. Like,
I still have High School Musical on 360 with the dance pad. I swear to God, I'm going to fire up one day.
oh God.
Scare the cats.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck is he doing?
But yeah, it's like I try to think of like what the heck else I used to play back. Oh yeah, Star Wars Battlefront 2. The servers are shut off anyway, so who gives a shit? So Crimson Skies, like both of these are also available on modern Xbox, but the servers are shut off anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like the only game I'd care about is Lynx 2004, which I still think is the best golf game ever.
I think you have rose tinted glasses on that.
I think you need to shut your pie hole.
That's how you sound. That's how you sound.
Well, I'm glad you can be so mature about this, Joe. So, Bri, why do you put up with us? Are you really certain you have nothing better to do on a Thursday night? Because I'm finding this hard to believe at this point.
I might just be crazy.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Did we fully answer your question?
Yeah. I just thought that was like, an interesting bit of data that, we could talk around. So yeah.
Oh,
even collector's editions these days. Like, give me a collector's edition with a digital code and I'm good. People hate that PlayStation is doing that. But there's people who have discless consoles that they can't use a disc. So why buy a collector's edition with a disc? Just include a digital code. You cover everybody.
Mm-hmm.
They still include a steelbook, so you have something to put on your shelf.
Yeah.
I think that's good enough. Give me that. Do what Starfield did, where they gave you a digital code, a steelbook, and in the steelbook was a replica credit chip from the game. That's cool. I'm good with that. I don't need it anymore because I got it from fucking Mountain Dew, but if I still wanted the game, I was going to do that, but not anymore.
I'm not going to lie, like thinking back to like how my kids operate with this kind of stuff. And it also got me thinking about like how everyone was just like, oh, like what, like who cares about them offering Minecraft? Like it's an empty case and it just has a code. Or I don't know if Minecraft does that, but I'm giving an example. And the thing is, like as we talked about this, it kind of dawned on me that those things aren't for us. Those are for like the grandparents and the parents, so they could give their kids something.
Yeah.
And then the kid's just going to redeem it and then play it on their Switch or Xbox or whatever. But they need to have that thing so the kid can open it. And I thought about my own kids with that, and it was like, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. Because like my kids, if I just woke them up on Christmas Day and was like, yo, the new Sonic game's on the Xbox, they'd be like, oh, cool, but kind of probably forget about it. But meanwhile, if I handed them like the case, they'd be like, and open, like, first off, they'd be excited to open it, but then be like, oh shit, we got Sonic, like, and then they might go off and play it as they wait 2 hours for it to download on Christmas Day. So it's like,
I get them updates.
Yeah, like, so I mean, like, I get it, but at the same time, like, my kids, I think, are past that initial thing, and it's just, they would just, they'd rather open up something else than.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just, my kids, I think, as long as they know it's there, they're fine. It's a good talk.
Good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Jacob, any news on your end?
Sonic the Hedgehog 3 movie watch.
Where's Aki when you need her?
I don't ever need her. Bazinga, or whatever the fuck they say it on there.
Why?
That's right. That's right. I went there.
I'm going to censor that.
I'm going to annoy the crap out of everyone because Aki's not here to annoy me. Anyway. Yeah, so filming has resumed, and they took a photo of the filming location, wherever they're at, and we got to see Shadow, or at least like the little standee that they use to like, so actors can reference where Shadow's supposed to be standing. However, we also got to see his sneakers that he's wearing, so exciting.
Ooh.
And the movie's out next year. Like close to Christmas.
That soon? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, like Christmas time.
Still a really quick turnaround, isn't it?
Nah.
No?
Like, you realize how much CGI is in this film?
Yeah, it feels like they need to put a lot of work into it.
I guarantee, like, they were already working on it by the time that they finished Sonic, or by the time that Sonic the Hedgehog 2 was out in theaters. I guarantee they were already starting work on the
Cracking
CGI.
the whip on working for 3, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Because, I mean, yeah, that's the thing. Like, if you really watch the Sonic movies, you realize, like, how much of the live action stuff is all in, like, one room, or, like, you know, or it's just like an outdoor set that they could have just filmed this anywhere. Yeah. So there really doesn't seem to be all that much to these movies, as much as I like them. I mean, I'm not dissing them. It's just, It seems like they're a lot easier to film than you'd think.
That's fair. What else you got?
That's all I got.
That's all you got?
That's all I got.
All right. Should we dive into reviews?
Let's do it.
Yeah, we can.
All right. First game to talk about tonight is Forest Grove, developed by Miga Games, published by Blowfish Studios, released November 29th on Xbox One, Series X and S, PS4, PS5, and PC for $19.99. In Forest Grove, a teenager heiress has gone missing, foul play suspected. Uncover a cast of characters, collect evidence, and find the truth in this futuristic detective game. Bri, tell us about your time with Forest Grove.
All right, so we get to take the role of detective and find the missing teen, Zoe, who's recently treated for a mental health episode before she vanished. Ms. Kunstematigard is from a wealthy family, also known for their philanthropy, but more importantly, the father's work on a high-tech nanodeck that is being used for the first time by the new remote forensic branch of Homeland Security to solve this very case. This takes place around 50 or so years in the future, where AI helps us do more things, doors open automatically, and we can simulate an entire house, including snippets of audio and video from security sensors in the real house to allow us to see things in a different way while we're trying to solve a case. The family was very well known and liked, but there's a sad history. Mom died, dad remarried, and then he died, leaving the teenager to the stepmother. And the company and everything in his fortune is ultimately left to the daughter in the will, leaving the stepmother with just a monthly stipend to take care of herself and the girl until the girl comes of age. There's a list of suspects close to the missing girl that we get to investigate: the angry boyfriend, his shady boss, the best friend from Japan, the housekeeper, the former business partner of the father, and the doctor that Zoe's been seeing, who seems a bit too involved in her life. But the mother, the original mother, may have passed down a genetic trait for something called Cotard's syndrome, which is also known as walking corpse syndrome, which is like, I had to go look it up. It was pretty interesting. Your body like feels unreal, and because you don't feel your body, it's easy to hurt yourself, and ultimately, things are just going haywire in your brain. It was like just a neat little thing that they put in there. But the daughter was exhibiting signs of the same syndrome before she disappeared. So makes sense maybe that the doctor in a rich family is like super involved because they're trying to protect the girl. But ultimately she's gone, and now we got to figure out what happened. So to solve the case, we have to search the house, or the simulated house, for DNA on different objects. We get to listen to audio clips that we find in little hotspots throughout the house, and watch holographic projections of security footage. That's a little bit more, there's like 2 layers to it. You can watch it as if it were really happening, and then you can see the security footage layer. It's very high-tech stuff. And while we're there, we also get to crack some passwords, find hidden clues. We get to hack in and read messages from the suspects, like phones and laptops and stuff. We find suspicious information on just about everybody, and the deeper you look, the more you find. Turns out the family liked puzzles. So we have like a reason to be solving puzzles. Like sometimes you play a game, you're solving a mystery, and there's these puzzles. Like why are there puzzles? No, they created a reason that felt natural. Like, oh, the mother was really interested in ancient technologies, and riddles and things. She even wrote a book on it. So like there's a reason for the puzzles to exist, which is really cool. Once you find enough evidence, you have to go to the computer in the RFB hub outside of the house, and you get to link physical evidence that you found in the house to charges on your different suspects. And that was the first time I felt like I wasn't given enough instruction on what to do in the game. Ultimately, I found the solution, and that was good. Let's see. It's it's really just a lot of detective work, going through and finding all of these different objects and kind of swirling them around to find like fingerprints on them. It was a really cool atmosphere, although it was a little dark. Which and Aki also got to play this, and I talked with her about this. I felt like the darkness was a nice like ambient thing, but it could have been a little brighter or given us some options to kind of brighten that up. You end up having to use a flashlight for most of it to find stuff. But in a simulation, it feels like you should have just been able to brighten up.
No.
The voice acting was pretty good, which is important because you've got all these different audio clips and holographic images to go through, and that's a big part of telling the story. But the graphics for the character models were a little amateur. That did not detract from things for me too much. It was a good story told in a different way than I'm used to for a detective story. And I really enjoyed the immersion, being in the house and being able to walk around and touch and rotate things. So yeah, all in all, I had a really good time with it.
I know Aki said that she loved it as well.
Yeah.
That she hopes they make another game like it. She also said, what is it? The Digihouse room? What is that?
So that's the simulation. When you're walking in the holodeck, and the house is simulated for the first time, it's got these like bright, crackly, digi effect. I don't know how else to explain it. It's like crackled lightning, maybe. So I could see where someone with Aki's like visual issues and seizure like stuff, like that would be an issue for her. Once you get inside the house, it's fine. It just looks like a normal house. But the outside, inside the nano deck, was just like crackled lightning. So yeah.
Oh yeah, if maybe they tone down the effects on that possibly, or have an option to do so for accessibility reasons. Otherwise, Aki seemed to love it. Based on what she talked to me about, what are your thoughts on it? The game costs $20. What kind of verdict do you have?
I mean, it's a buy it for me as well. I did struggle a little bit finding like one or two objects. Thankfully, Aki and I had a little time after the embargo was up to like be able to talk and just be like share a couple of notes. And we were able to get to the end and find a solution. So yeah, it was really good.
Cool. All right.
Definitely buy it for me.
Sounds good. Moving on. Next game is Trash is Fun. Developed and published by Brinemedia. Released November 24th on Xbox One, Series X and S in the Windows Store for $4.99. Embark on an unforgettable journey with your friends around the world in an eco-friendly adventure made specifically for a group of up to 4 people. After the apocalypse due to global warming, the characters realize that in order to survive, they would have to gather in a team and recycle garbage. Jacob and Bri, both of you played this. Jacob, how about you start? What's going on in Trash is Fun?
So, Trash is Fun is a multiplayer game it's a couch co-op multiplayer game, and it's very similar to Overcooked, in which like everybody has like their like. The game, I mean, thrives on chaos, but of course, it's best managed. If everyone could stick to like one particular role and just like everybody just keeps the stuff moving, or can change tasks on the fly. And the game really does unlike Overcooked, which you can kind of manage with one person. You can. It's really difficult, but you can still do it. This one, no. This one is this is meant for a group, and unfortunately, unlike LOL Surprise and Overcooked, which are a bit more kid friendly, this one my kids just could not get into it. And it's not like they didn't like the idea of like the animals or like, haha, we're taking down zombies with all this kind of stuff. They like the environmental thing about it too. But it's just, this game is very like, you got to be on top of your shit. Like there is no time for messing around. Yeah, all right. So there kind of is, but not the level that my kids like to.
Yeah.
And so, this is honestly a game I'd suggest more for adults to be playing than kids. Or I guess teenagers too. But yeah, it's kind
Bri,
of fun.
what are your thoughts?
I kind of agree with, the majority of what Jacob's saying. Like, as you got past like the first couple levels, it started to get really, really hard to play by myself. And I could definitely see where, assigning roles or doing certain things, like at a certain point, these little like cardboard zombies kind of pop up. You can take them down with like flamethrowers and stuff, but like you can't do that and keep your carbon footprint down or whatever. So yeah, it's a
whole lot of multitasking.
It's a hard,
yeah, it
it's
is
a hard
lot.
juggle. It really is.
Yeah, and the other thing I noticed was that the movement felt kind of slow to me, and I don't know, maybe I just missed it, and there was a dash, but I didn't find like a dash or anything, so it just kind of felt like everything was moving slower than I wanted it to for the amount of hurry that I was supposed to be having.
Yeah, that's fair, and also, it's just, I don't know how effective bots would have been for this game, but I really wish that there had been something for those who just want to play by themselves. Even if the game just like dumbed down the difficulty a bit, like Overcooked does, depending on how many players you have. Like this one, just it's relentless. It's fun, but you need to have a group of people who like this kind of game and are willing to like sit and play it. I enjoyed it.
Speaking of group, it's got to be a local group, right? There's no online to this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you imagine my bitching about this game if we were still in the middle of a pandemic? Oh my God. Any couch co-op game, I was like, no, like during the pandemic. I online would be nice for this, but I'm not going to ding it too hard.
Yeah, it is a fairly cheap game. It only clocks in at $5. What do you two think?
I'd recommend it, but as I said, it's not going to be LOL surprise and Overcooked for your kids. This is going to be adults who have their shit together.
Yeah, I would say like if you have friends you can play it with, like it rates higher on my list. But like at that price, I'm kind of like, sure, why not? Maybe I can find some friends to play later. That sort of thing.
Any easy achievements at least?
Oh yeah, definitely has easy achievements. If you're just looking for that at that price, it's great.
Yeah, they're definitely easy because it's like recycle X amount of boxes, recycle X amount of bottles, and it just keeps stacking. So just keep playing levels and sucking and getting killed by zombies.
Yeah, I liked setting the zombies on fire. That was amusing.
Nice. All right, well, next up is Train Valley 2 Community Edition, developed by Flazm, published by BlitWorks, released November 23rd on Xbox One, Series X and S, Switch, PS4, and PS5 for $24.99. Drive forward the industrial revolution in this train tycoon micromanagement game. Build railroads, upgrade your locomotives, keep your trains on schedule without delays or accidents, meet the ever-growing demand of the cities and industries in your tiny valley. Bri, what is Train Valley 2?
So this is listed as a management game, a micro-management game even, but I want to call this more like a tycoon puzzle game. The game is comprised of different levels with varying objectives and resources. So it's more like puzzle levels as opposed to a persistent management game. So like in a lot of tycoon type games or other management games, like, okay, you're going to build your whole huge empire over time, and you start out with this one little building. This is like individual levels, and so while you are still racking up things like money overall, you start out with a small sum at the beginning of each level and certain objectives to get to. So the goal of each level is to connect cities and factories and generate and distribute the resources to improve the economy via your trains. You have certain stations will need certain types of products. So you might need, wood or planks or something. Your station, you have a station with workers. You have to send your workers to the places where the resources are. So you need like 6 glass or something. So then you've got to send workers to a sand quarry, and then they bring the sand to the glass factory, and then you've got to send the glass to the station to fulfill the order. So on the way, you build tracks and manage your junctions and your trains as you go. And you can be totally braver than me.
Or is it like preset pieces?
So you have preset pieces, but so like say the level you have, I don't know, there's one there's called the valley. So you have a valley, you have to learn to move up and down. There's levels where you may have to put down bridges and things like that. So there's obstacles in the level that are kind of designed for you to have to move around. And it's free within the limitations of each level, how you want to build it. But, there's definitely some limitations to what you can do with your resources at first. And like, as you move further through the game, you get more and more advanced things, I guess, like you can put in bridges and tunnels and that sort of thing to overcome the obstacles, but they're all sort of designed more like puzzle levels. And there's getting all of the achievements in this game is going to be hard.
Is it?
Yeah, it's there's like 80 achievements on the list.
Oh, wow.
So they're all like 5 and 10 point achievements. And there are things for like getting 158 levels. There's more than 150. There's probably close to 400 levels in this edition because it has all of the DLC, I guess, in this edition.
Wow.
And there's community levels. I think it's probably close to 400 levels is my best guess.
Wow.
So yeah, there's a lot to do in this game. And it's across like 5 different ages. And then there's all, like I said, the extra content has just all these different things. So, but there's like difficulty ratings in the level as well. So each level you go in, you have a set of goals. There's like 5 stars you can get in a level. 3 of them are for time. So say, they want you to complete the level in 7 minutes, 9 minutes, or 12 minutes. I can barely complete a level in 30 minutes. Time slows down, or stops when you're in certain modes. So like if you're laying track, you have time to think about it. You have another sort of pause button that you use while you are switching junctions for your trains to move around. But it's like they really focused in this one on getting you to play for speed. There's other goals that you'll have, like 2 goals per level, and that's your other 2 stars. Like you might want to avoid train crashes. Only use a certain amount of train tracks, or only delete so much value worth of stuff, or make a certain amount of money minimum by the end of the level. And so like you get different stars for that. So you have like 5 stars total. I have never gotten a time star the whole time I was playing. But I have managed to do a couple of the others. But good news, you can actually still pass the level even if you get no stars. So you can just play this as a chill puzzle game if you don't care about achievements.
That's good.
And you get different trains as you go, so they move faster or they carry more things. You can build more things like bridges and tunnels. You get more complex orders. Like you might need to get cattle to 2 different stations. To get the cattle, you have to send workers to get grain. Then you have to move the grain and some workers to the cattle factory. Then you can send the cattle to both of its destinations. But all the while, you have to lay tracks and junctions and switch them as you're trying to manage these 4 different locations. And then you may still have 2 different types of resource orders, like some other area has wood and somebody wants planks. So you got to send the wood workers to the wood, then wood to the plank factory, and then plank to where the order goes at the station. Like it gets pretty complex after a while, and you're trying to run multiple trains as fast as you can. But you can take your time and still just play it as a chill puzzle game, which I thought was nice overall.
Well, it clocks in at $25. It seems like it has the content. Is the fun there?
For me, it's more like a try it, and that's again, I feel like there's almost too much content. it was a little overwhelming, and the amount of time it was taking me to get through some of those levels, for as many as it looks like there are, that just seemed like a lot. I don't know. Like, it was fun enough as a chill puzzle game, but I feel like I'm missing out on a whole bunch of stuff because I'm not understanding the ins and outs of how I can speed things up, and that's just something that'll come in time. So,
well, try it. Sounds good. So,
all right.
Seems like for the genre, that's on track. Bri, what are you up to tonight?
I am going to go be a pirate again. That's the plan.
Yarg.
Yeah.
Do you have any final words before we let you loose?
Stay warm, friends. Stay warm.
She called us friends. Or wait, she called the listeners friends.
Yeah, the listeners are friends. We're nowhere close.
Sorry.
I'm
Jump the gun again.
Sitting over here in I'm wearing a scarf and I have gloves on. I'm cold.
It's like 35 degrees out, so I'm with you.
I'm wearing PJ pants and a dress shirt, and the dress shirt isn't even buttoned.
Ooh.
Smexy.
I mean, it helps induce vomiting, but
yeah. Yeah, that was why the M was in there.
If you two could not agree so quickly at the same time, that would be great.
No.
Right. On that note, you guys have a great rest of your night.
Sounds good. Take care.
Bye.
Keeping with the cold weather theme, the next game is Barton Lynch Pro Surfing, developed and published by Bungarra Software. Released November 17th on Xbox Series X and S, PS5, and PC for $49.99. Barton Lynch Pro Surfing pits you against the world's best surfers at the most exotic locations on the planet. An in-depth leaderboard sports game meets free surf exploration at 12 massive worlds. Get pumped by the unique controls, amazing weather, and customization tools. Jacob, what is going on in Barton Lynch Pro Surfing?
I was really hoping you would ask if I was able to hang 10 or something like that, because then I was going to go, no, I had a what?
I want you to know that your mic cut out when you did that.
Damn it. Whatever. I tried to say wipe out, in the song.
I know what you were going for, but it's just, what?
Dang it.
Yeah. Want to try it again?
No, not really.
The moment passed.
Really. Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
So
it's crashed like the waves.
Oh, that was good. All right.
So anyway, Barton Lynch Pro Surfing, tell us about it.
So usually when you hear a game like this, with the athlete's name at the beginning and then pro, thanks to Tony Hawk, he kind of ruined that for us because, now we just expect so-and-so pro whatever sport they play. Obviously it's going to be as physics defying and just fooling around as much. And instead, Barton Lynch Pro Surfer, interestingly enough, actually takes the time to explain how surfing works, what kind of waves you're looking for, how to do certain things, and also explain the positions that you actually need to be in and stuff like that, and why it works and stuff. I thought that was a pretty cool thing for them to do in the tutorial. And unfortunately, in practice, and much like any other actual sport where they're trying to be realistic about it, you're not going to pick this up on the first go. In fact, you are going to be spending most of your time crashing into these waves and getting shoved over the wave and behind it, or just getting it just getting knocked off your board all the time. And not that that's a bad thing. I mean, is it annoying? Sure. But this game is only going to be as good as the effort that you put into it. So let me say that at first. Dang, Thimber might be right on that one. Thimber had commented, to be honest, the best pro game is PBR Pro Bull Riding, the video game. Might be. But anyway, so yeah, and so the game does try to take your hand on this. It has a semi-relaxed tutorial that goes through and it's exhaustive too. There's 18 or 20 different parts to it that you have to complete to fully complete the tutorial. And because the game wants you to understand what you're doing and why you're doing it. And then after you complete the tutorial, I mean, you don't have to complete the tutorial, but it is strongly suggested. And as a reviewer, I am also going to strongly suggest that you do it. You're allowed to travel to various parts of the world, and most of them aren't unlocked to you at the very beginning because you need to establish yourself as a surfer and get the sponsorships and actually be able to surf. Very novel, and there are, I think it's like 10 total. It might only be 8. It's like 8 or 10 actual pro surfers. You can create your own. However, the game will say, like, if you're better off just using one of our people on this one, because it gets you ahead quicker. So I went with Barton Lynch and hoping that the man wouldn't let me down. But thankfully he didn't. I did. So
you're good at letting people down.
Yeah. And so, because initially I was like, oh, well,
I'm sorry,
okay,
that was mean.
I mean, I've been on this show for almost the whole time.
Yeah.
More or less 9 years. Yeah. I mean, I've let everyone down, parents, wife,
RMO.
I mean, our listeners, everybody.
But does this game let people down, or is it,
so as I've said,
welcoming to new players?
It tries to be as welcoming as it can be. And as I said, this game is only going to be as good as what you're putting into it. Like, if you're like, oh, this isn't like Tony Hawk, like, because I'm not going to lie, I was really hoping for that, even though you had told me, like, the dev said it's more on the realistic side. I was still hoping that, like, there would be like a free mode where you could just like mess around in the ocean. There is, but it's not going to be like gravity defying and stuff like that. But it's still really awesome to, like, when you get the hang of it, it's pretty awesome to, like, watch yourself, like, go across the wave, and understand, like, how you're able to do this, why, like, why it works like that. And so, I had initially started trying to do the campaign stuff, but I was, like, constantly failing. And so, again, you have to just put in the practice with it. And thankfully there is like a free mode where you could go to the areas that you've unlocked, and you could just spend hours going across the waves, and the game will just keep tossing waves at you because, I mean, it's the ocean. The ocean has waves. Like,
yeah, it does. That is accurate.
And so, yeah. And so I honestly, I was having fun with it. This is not a game you're just going to pick up immediately and knock everybody's socks off with it. You are going to have to practice. You are going to have to make yourself better at this. And honestly, I thought it was pretty cool. Like, I'm glad that the devs went out and made this game. Like, I was having fun with it. Like, how
is it visually? Because looking at the screenshots on the store page, it looks very realistic. How is it in motion?
I thought it looks pretty cool. I mean, like, there are points where the graphics do kind of look last gen, but at the same time, you're spending so much time focusing on, getting the button pushes right and, like, making sure that your guy or girl, stays in the positions that they need to be in, so everything, so they can successfully surf. I thought it looked nice. I mean, it looks good, especially like the water looks really beautiful as you're out on the ocean. And just honestly, one of the other things that's nice to do is just take in the free the free mode and just sit there and just watch the world. Like, it's pretty nice to do that too.
Cool. Well, the game clock's in at $50. Seems like a steep ask. Is the content there? Is it worth it? What are your thoughts?
The content's there, and I do think it's worth the $50. But I like, this is a game I wish that there was a demo for that, like, people could try, stop and try it, or even like one of those like EA Play 10-hour demos where, like, because honestly, I don't think you'd be able to get like the full grasp of it like in an hour or even 2 hours. I think it's something that you have to work towards. And
It might be
I think
something where a content limited demo might work out really well instead of a time limited demo.
Yeah, I mean, even if it just gave you just the first beach just to mess around on, that would be a good. I mean, that's a great suggestion on that. Because the content's there, like the gameplay is good. It's just I could see a lot of people, having that expectation of athlete pro.
No,
Okay, so it's going to play like
arcade.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater, yeah,
No.
which does not. But it's pretty cool, and as I said, I'm glad that the devs that they made this game.
Cool.
Like it's really, I'm glad that there's a cool realistic surfing game out there.
All right. Well, that is it for you. We are going to take a quick little break, and then Aki should be here. Either that or the end of the episode is going to be here. One of the two. I don't know yet.
That's
Probably
exciting.
Aki. Probably Aki.
Gross.
All right, moving on. We've got Aki joining us. Aki, how was your trip?
It was a trip. It was supposed to take 3 or 4 days. It took a little under 2.
Jeez.
Or a little over 2, something like that. Yeah, it was crazy.
Just killing those miles.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when we stop one time for like about 7-ish hours to try and get sleep, and only my grandma got any.
God.
And the rest of the time we were driving, and my grandma doesn't drive, so there's that.
Oh, gee. Well, you made it, and that's the important thing.
Yeah, we were lucky. Yeah.
Yeah, because now you get to do this shit again.
Yeah, I don't actually mind it that much. It's pretty. Well, fun may not be the right word.
I was going to say, watch your words. You don't want to say something that you'll regret.
It's an. I like the I get games for free and get to play them part. The review part a little less, but
The
it's
Jacob
doable.
part a little more or less.
I'm not that generous. My generosity is the not at all part, instead of the much worse of what it is. But there's no words for the rest of it, so
Well, hopefully you got some words for a couple of games, because you got 3 tiny ones to take care of. Are you ready to talk about these?
Woot. Let's do this.
All right. First up is The Traveler's Path.
Yeah!
Nope. Raider Biz just sub for the 20th month. So we are going to thank Raider Biz before we go into that review, because the timing was amazing.
We thank you for wasting your money, because that is most definitely what you have just done.
And for hanging out with us on a Friday night, because we're recording this day after the normal stuff. I just watched wrestling.
What happens.
Watched wrestling and played Diablo, and now I'm doing this shit.
Well, it's an end to the day. Let's just put it that way. It's not a great end, but it is an end.
Anyway, first game, The Traveler's Path, developed by White Rose Games and eastasiasoft, published by eastasiasoft, released November 29th on Xbox One, Series X and S, Switch, PS4, PS5 for $4.99. Put your logic and problem-solving skills to the test in The Traveler's Path, a 3D spin on tile-based positional puzzles from a bird's-eye view over forests, snowfields, and more. Your job to help the traveler reach his destination by unscrambling the twisted footpath to his destination. Only by thinking a few steps ahead can you line up the pieces of the path to lead the traveler from start to finish. Aki, I have a feeling I just described the entire game.
Yeah, there is, there's not much to it.
But is it fun?
So yeah, it's not bad. It's not going to win any awards, but it's not bad. It's pretty easy.
What is it?
So basically, in this game, you have 1 and eventually later 2 characters that are at this flag, and then there's a matching colored flag somewhere else in the level. And you have a lot of different tiles in between these 2 areas. And what you're doing is you're trying to grab all the ones that have roads, and move them around to where it creates a pathway from one flag to the other so that the idiot can walk through. Eventually, you also get some ones that, well, I guess I should also point out that you can also shift how these tiles are aimed. So if there's a tile that's a vertical road, you can turn it into a horizontal road instead, so on and so forth. Eventually, you get some added stuff to it where there are some tiles that can't be moved, so you have to build stuff around them, or some tiles that are roads, but the roads can't be turned, so you have to use them as is. And eventually, also, there's some coins that show up that your character picks up while they're walking. Very simple, very easy game. There's 54 levels, I believe, in the game. You don't have to play all of them. There are achievements for playing specific levels, and you can just play those levels if you really want. Because there is a level select, and you can select literally any level. I did not realize that until I was pretty far into the game. I was originally planning to 100% beat every level and have the whole thing marked off and completed and be like, yeah, I'm awesome, because that's what I do. However, there is an issue in the game where it will not record that you have completed some levels, even though you've completed those levels. So
Weird.
that's not irritating at all. But it doesn't matter, because the achievement for beating that level will pop even if afterwards it says you haven't beaten that level, even though you have multiple times in my case, trying to get it to work. But yeah, again, very, very, very easy game. This, if your kids like puzzles, this would be a good one for children, because there wasn't, but maybe like one particularly annoyingly difficult one to me, and that was it out of all of them. And that was mostly because I was trying to build it in a way that it really just could not be built. It happens.
Well, it clocks in at $5. What's your verdict?
I think it's a fuck it, why not? I think that's a pretty good, solid fuck it, why not game.
Cool. Next up is Evil Diary, developed by Angelo, Gamedev, and 9 Ratones, published by Ratalaika Games. Released November 24th on Xbox One, Series X and S, Switch, PS4, PS5 for $4.99. Enter a post-apocalyptic urban wasteland where your goal is to reach a secure zone, but you have to cut across areas overrun with monsters. Take on the role of Eve, a fierce heroine who is determined to survive the horror by any means necessary. Shoot down enemies from afar or slash them up close and clear the way towards freedom. Aki, what is Evil Diary?
Okay, you know, in beat 'em ups, old school beat 'em ups, how you'd go into one little section and then you would be blocked off from moving any further to the right, and you'd have to beat up all the enemies, and then you could move to the next screen, basically, where you'd also get stopped. That's basically what this game is, except for they're singular levels instead of doing that. They're very tiny little areas that you're stuck in until you kill a certain amount of enemies. And then you get to move to the next little section. And yeah, that is pretty much the entirety of that game. You get to move up and down and left and right, obviously, and shoot things that come from the sides of the screen. There are a bunch of different types of zombies in this. Some of them a lot of them just move from one side of the screen to the other. There's a couple that will actually chase after you and will move to attack you. Most of them will just go from one side to the other and then back until you kill them. There are some flying ones that'll zip around the screen, some that are stationary off the screen that you can't hit, which is some bullshit. That'll shoot at you forever because they're little bastards. And yeah, majority of this game is just killing X amount of enemies, and it tells you up in the top middle of the screen, it'll tell you how many you have to kill and how many you have killed. So that's really nice. And as it says, you can shoot things, you can slash things with a giant sword. The sword is fucking useless. Don't use it. Just use the gun. The gun is so amazing. Just do it. And the gun has infinite ammo, so yippee. And yeah, occasionally you pick up things like bombs or health packets for when you get hurt, and you just continue through each individual level. And occasionally, sometimes bad shit happens to your character. Like, for instance, at some point, I lost one of my permanent health points, and you start off with 10. So I lost one, and then another point I lost another 2, and I don't know how or why, and it sucked, because then I only had 7 health at the start of every level instead of 10, and every time a zombie hits you going by, it does 1 health damage, and it's like, shit. That leaves you not very much to end up killing like a whole screen of like 50 fucking zombies that you have to deal with. It's like, and yeah, basically your character is trying to get to another state where there is supposed to be a safe haven, and that is basically you're just reading pages out of her diary at the beginning of almost every level, not quite all of them, but most of them. Basically just detailing her little journey. And yeah, eventually, as you're doing this, you also get some points from killing zombies and the like, and you can use those to unlock the other 2 optional characters in the game. Each one of them costs 1,000 points, and I got 2,000 long before I finished the game. Matter of fact, I got it long before I got the rest of the achievements in the game, I think. And yeah, it's really just that simple. There are occasional changes in the type of game it is. Instead of killing X amount of enemies, sometimes it's you have to find this door on the level whilst killing enemies and then open it. And opening it takes X amount of time, so you just have to kill things until that timer's gone. And that's really it. That's all you got. There's no boss enemies or anything else. There's no extra weapons that you pick up or anything. It's just a very straightforward, simple shoot all the shit.
Oh, well, it's $5. What do you think of this one?
I think this is a pretty good one. If you like shooting games like this, it's not bad. I think it's a pretty decent game. I think it's a buy it.
Cool. One final game to talk about tonight is Pretty Girls Escape Plus. Developed and published by Zoo Corporation, released November 23rd on Steam for $4.99. The Plus version is now available in the game Pretty Girls Escape. Slide the blocks left and right in the stage to connect, then erase them and guide the characters to the exit. Collect costumes of 9 beautiful girls from idol groups, athletic clubs, and more, and have fun dressing them up. Aki, I know these aren't necessarily after dark games, but they're kind of risque. What are your thoughts on Pretty Girls Escape Plus?
Okay, well, there's a couple things to list here. First, there's 2 modes to the game, one where you just play randomly, and another one that's actually basically a campaign to the game, and in that you unlock money through beating the level, as well as beating little challenges within the levels, which usually aren't too hard. Usually it's, clear this many of this color block, or beat it in under this many turns. And you use that money to buy outfits for the girls. And you get to choose which outfit you buy. There's 2 for each girl that you can buy, and one of them is usually a skimpier, like, swimsuit or something. So obviously that's the only one you bother buying. And then there's, backgrounds and stuff like that you can also buy, because there's a little picture thing that you can create where you can place the girls and have a background and take a picture and be like, ooh, for some reason. And yeah, so the main premise of this game, I thought it was going to be like a Connect 3 type game where, you have a whole bunch of colored blocks in there, and then you have to slide them over to make 3 or more, and then they disappear or something. That isn't the case. That shit already exists. All the blocks are already there. Usually they're already in order to where you could just click them. If you have 3 or more in it, you can just click it and they'll disappear, and that is usually how a bunch of this level starts, just at that level. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to clear enough of these blocks out that there's a large picture of the girl from that mission up somewhere at the top, and you have to clear enough areas that she can reach the bottom, and there are certain areas in there that are holes in the bottom that the picture can fall through. And you just have to get her lined up with one of those. There are, as the levels continue, it does get harder as it starts to give you less of them that are already matched. And there's also, they give you blocks that can't move, as well as blocks that if the character touches it, it kills them. And when I say the blocks don't move, in this, you're not clicking a block and clicking another block and they switch places. Instead, in this game, you click left or right and everything shifts all the way to the left as far as it can go, or all the way to the right as far as it can go. For the entire level, every single item on it, including the character tile, all the ones that could be disappeared if you click on them, which means you can fuck up those pretty easily, as well as the little stabby blocks, as I learned, much to my chagrin, which kill your character, which I found out much to my chagrin. And yeah, that is basically the entire premise of this game, is just get these girls to the bottom and drop them in a hole. And that's it. That's really all there is to it.
Well, it's a $5 game. What do you think of it?
If you like puzzle games and you like ones that get pretty difficult, because this does get surprisingly difficult, then I think this is for you, even though it's a weird, pretty girl game, and therefore it's all about, hey, let's get girls in skimpy outfits. And
they all have back problems.
Oh, yes. Every last one of them. These girls all have Tego bitties. So, yeah, if you don't mind that, or can at least get past it, this becomes a pretty difficult puzzle game. So I'm all for it if you like puzzles. If you don't like puzzles, I really don't think this game is going to be for you, because the Tego bitties just, they're not enough. So if you like puzzles,
this is more about the game than the fan service.
Exactly. Gotcha. And in my opinion, basically all the pretty girl games are more about the game than the fan service. If you don't like the game, the fan service ain't going to save it. Because I have played a few of these.
No.
So
you and Chris.
Yep. So if you like the puzzles, go for it. If you don't, then this is a skip it for sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is it for this episode. Aki, thanks for coming on and doing your thing at the end here. Big thanks to Bri and Jacob for doing the first part of the show and chatting news and all that fun jazz. Next week, I think we're just going to have a single show party group thing again. So we'll see what goes on there. But music, I am completely unprepared, and I was supposed to be oh yeah, Christmas. It's December now, so we're gonna start our SML Christmas music.
My eye totally didn't just twitch right then. Okay, yeah.
Have you listened to the SML Christmas music?
I don't know. I've probably heard a couple of songs out of it.
It's basically songs from Friends with sleigh bells added. Yeah,
okay, I'm for
this one right here.